Level 1. No magical sensitivity. Muggles. In the Wizarding World's classification of magical sensitivity, the lowest tier belongs to those entirely untouched by magic. Muggles are individuals born without a magical core, the essential inner conduit that allows a witch or wizard to channel spells. Their biology contains no resonance with magical energy, meaning they cannot cast spells, feel enchantments, or perceive the invisible layers of magic that shape the wizarding realm. To them, the magical world simply does not exist. Every spell, building, or creature is hidden by design, veiled through enchantments that exploit this absence of perception. For instance, Hogwarts Castle appears to Muggles as a ruin, fenced off and marked as dangerous. The Leaky Cauldron in London, which connects to Diagon Alley, remains invisible unless a magical person guides them through its charms. Even when they cross paths with magic, their minds fill the gaps with rational explanations. A broom that moves on its own becomes a trick of the light. A vanishing act becomes a glitch of memory. Protective enchantments ensure this ignorance remains intact. Muggle-repelling charms cause sudden forgetfulness, confusion, or an unexplainable urge to turn away. The wizarding government enforces these barriers under the International Statute of Secrecy, maintaining peaceful coexistence between magical and non-magical populations. Yet history records brief moments when the two worlds brushed against each other, when Muggles witnessed something they were never meant to see. In The Prisoner of Azkaban, the night bus speeds invisibly through London's streets, forcing Muggle vehicles aside, yet none of the drivers ever remember the chaos they narrowly avoided. At the 1994 Quidditch World Cup, whole fields of tents and crowds were concealed by vast enchantments, and confundus charms were placed on any Muggle who wandered too close. From birth to death, Muggles remain entirely non-magical. They live in a world infused with enchantment, yet can neither see it, feel it, nor remember it.
Level 2. Minimal Magical Sensitivity, Squibs. A step above Muggles lies a rare and often misunderstood group. Squibs are born into magical families but possess almost no usable magic of their own. They carry the faintest trace of a magical core, not enough to perform spells, but just enough to see what Muggles cannot. Unlike non-magical humans, squibs can perceive enchanted locations, sense magical creatures, and recognize the presence of spells or artifacts that would remain completely invisible to others. They live between two worlds, neither fully part of the magical community nor truly separate from it. The best-known squibs illustrate this quiet in-between existence. Arabella Figg, who lived near Harry Potter, could recognize Dementors and testify about them before the Ministry of Magic, an ability impossible for any Muggle. Argus Filch, Hogwarts caretaker, maintains the castle's magical infrastructure despite being unable to use a wand. He understands the nature of magic even if he cannot wield it. His ownership of a quick spell correspondence course, a desperate attempt to learn magic, shows how painful this limitation can be. Though unable to cast spells, squibs are unaffected by enchantments that conceal magical sights. They can walk freely past the illusions that confuse Muggles. Their faint magical resonance lets them handle certain magical items without activating detection spells like the Trace, a system that tracks underage magic. Socially, squibs occupy a delicate position. Some are quietly integrated into wizarding life as shopkeepers, caretakers, or informants. Others choose to live among Muggles, hiding their magical heritage.
Level 3. Latent Sensitivity, Pre-Hogwarts Children. Before a witch or wizard ever holds a wand, their magic already lives within them, wild, unshaped, and unpredictable. This stage is known as latent magical sensitivity, a phase most children experience before formal education. At this level, magic manifests instinctively through emotion rather than intention. Fear, joy, or desperation can trigger powerful reactions that the child neither understands nor controls. The wizarding world calls this accidental magic, the first proof that a magical core exists within them.
Some incidents are small, like a toy levitating when a child cries, or a door slamming without being touched. Others are astonishing. When Harry Potter was trapped in a zoo enclosure, he unconsciously made the glass vanish to free a snake. Neville Longbottom bounced unharmed after falling from a high window. Lily Evans, as a little girl, could make flowers bloom and dance mid-air. In more volatile cases, the power becomes destructive. Ariana Dumbledore's suppressed magic erupted after a traumatic attack, accidentally killing her mother. And Tom Riddle, even as a boy, demonstrated control far beyond his age, summoning objects, inflicting harm, and commanding animals with will alone. These manifestations reveal not only magical presence, but also its potential strength. Children who display frequent, intense, accidental magic often grow into powerful witches or wizards. The Accidental Magic Reversal Squad, a branch of the Ministry of Magic, is tasked with containing these events, repairing damage, reversing effects, and preserving the statute of secrecy. At this stage, magic is instinctive, emotional, and untamed. It cannot yet be channeled or refined, but it represents the raw heartbeat of a future wizard's power, magic in its most natural, chaotic form.
Level 4. Trained Witch or Wizard. Average Hogwarts graduate. At this stage, magic becomes structured, refined through study, discipline, and the bond between witch, wizard, and wand. This is the level of the average Hogwarts graduate, representing the vast majority of magical adults in the wizarding world. Through 7 years of education, students learn to convert instinctive energy into precise spell work. They study the core branches of magic: charms, transfiguration, potions, defense against the dark arts, herbology, astronomy, and care of magical creatures. By graduation, they can reliably perform spells using spoken incantations and controlled wand movements. Their magic is practical and versatile. A graduate can disarm an opponent with Expelliarmus, mend minor wounds with Episki, or tidy a room with Scourgify. They can travel safely by Floo powder, brew common potions, and defend themselves against basic dark creatures. This competence defines what it means to live independently within the magical community. However, their skill also has limits. Most witches and wizards at this level rely heavily on wands and incantations. Non-verbal or wandless casting remains difficult, often requiring exceptional focus. Large-scale enchantments, spell invention, or deep theoretical understanding are rare. Their magical education forms a solid foundation, but without continued study or specialization, many plateau at this stage. In daily life, these witches and wizards fill essential roles: ministry clerks, shopkeepers, or are trainees, teachers' assistants, or potion brewers. Their spells maintain homes, heal small injuries, and protect communities, but they rarely alter magical history. Still, their power should not be underestimated. Within the social fabric of Wizarding Britain, these are the functional citizens who keep the magical world running, not legends or prodigies, but capable practitioners of everyday sorcery. They are the steady heartbeat of magical society, competent, educated, and grounded, but not extraordinary.
Level 5. Exceptional Talent Specialist. Beyond ordinary proficiency lies a realm of mastery reached by few, witches and wizards whose magic transcends standard education. These are the exceptional specialists, individuals whose power, creativity, or innate gifts elevate them above the rest of their peers. Their distinction is not simply strength, but refinement. While an average graduate applies learned spells, specialists expand them, bending magical law through experimentation, invention, or instinct. They may dedicate their lives to a single branch of magic, achieving a precision that reshapes their field. Some display rare natural abilities. Nimzabora Tonks was born a metamorphomagus, able to alter her appearance at will, a talent no spell could teach. Others push magic through intellect and willpower alone. Severus Snape created original spells like Sectum Sempra and refined potion-making techniques that even textbooks could not match. Minerva McGonagall mastered transfiguration to the point of becoming an animagus, a feat requiring immense control and understanding. Even Fred and George Weasley demonstrated exceptional magical engineering through their enchanted products, humor turned into complex applied magic.
Specialists at this level often serve as auros, curse breakers, magical researchers, or professional duelists. Their combat instincts are honed enough to cast non-verbally under pressure, adapt spells mid-fight, and sustain layered enchantments without faltering. Their expertise allows them to work with magic too unstable for others. They can combine disciplines, blending charms with potions or transfiguration with defense, to create outcomes far beyond a textbook spell's intent. This level represents the threshold between mastery and legend. Exceptional specialists are innovators, not just users of magic, but architects of it. Their names may not shape history, but their creations, discoveries, and influence ripple through generations of witches and wizards who follow.
Level 6. Legendary Magical Mastery. At the very peak of magical evolution stands a category so rare that history can count its members on one hand. This is Legendary Magical Mastery, the highest attainable level of power, intellect, and influence in the wizarding world. Witches and wizards who reach this stage are not merely skilled, they define what magic itself can be. Their abilities transcend the boundaries of spellbooks, surpassing anything that can be taught at Hogwarts or even recorded by the Ministry. At this level, wandless and non-verbal magic are performed with the same precision and force as ordinary spellcasting. These individuals can manipulate enchantments on vast scales, altering environments, protecting entire structures, or waging duels that reshape the landscape itself. They bend the rules of magic through creativity, intellect, and willpower, producing feats so advanced they blur the line between sorcery and divinity. They are also innovators. True masters do not just perform magic, they create it. They invent new spells, design enchanted objects of unmatched complexity, and weave layers of protection or concealment that few could ever unravel.